Hello everyone! Want to speak English more fluently in everyday life? These 200 sentences are exactly what you need. Each one is short, natural and easy to remember. Perfect for real conversations. Practice with me, repeat aloud and build your confidence step by step. Let's speak English together, starting now. I usually wake up at 7 in the morning. I usually wake up at 7 in the morning. I hit the snooze button at least once. I hit the snooze button at least once. I stretch a bit before getting out of bed. I stretch a bit before getting out of bed. I always start my day with a glass of water. I always start my day with a glass of water. I take a quick shower to feel fresh. I take a quick shower to feel fresh. I brush my teeth right after waking up. I brush my teeth right after waking up. I check my phone for any missed calls. I check my phone for any missed calls. I make my bed before leaving the room. I make my bed before leaving the room. I pick out my clothes for the day. I pick out my clothes for the day. I usually skip breakfast when I'm late. I usually skip breakfast when I'm late. I grab a coffee on my way out. I grab a coffee on my way out. I check the weather before leaving home. I check the weather before leaving home. I get dressed while listening to music. I get dressed while listening to music. I leave the house around 8:30 a.m. I leave the house around 8:30 a.m. I take a moment to plan my day. I take a moment to plan my day. I iron my clothes if they look wrinkled. I iron my clothes if they look wrinkled. I check my calendar for today's tasks. I check my calendar for today's tasks. I try not to rush in the mornings. I try not to rush in the mornings. I water my plants before I leave. I water my plants before I leave. I always lock the door before leaving. I always lock the door before leaving. I usually arrive at the office by 9 a.m. I usually arrive at the office by 9 a.m. I start the day by checking my emails. I start the day by checking my emails. I have a lot of meetings today. I have a lot of meetings today. I need to finish this report by noon. I need to finish this report by noon. I'm working on a new project this week. I'm working on a new project this week. I take a short coffee break around 11. I take a short coffee break around 11. I try to avoid distractions at work. I try to avoid distractions at work. I had a quick lunch with my co-workers. I had a quick lunch with my co-workers. I need to call a client this afternoon. I need to call a client this afternoon. I make a to-do list every morning. I make a to-do list every morning. I attend a team meeting every Monday. I attend a team meeting every Monday. I keep my desk clean and organised. I keep my desk clean and organised. I respond to urgent emails first. I respond to urgent emails first. I'm staying late to finish a task. I'm staying late to finish a task. I update my boss on my progress daily. I update my boss on my progress daily. I prefer working in a quiet space. I prefer working in a quiet space. I always save my files to the cloud. I always save my files to the cloud. I take 5-minute breaks every hour. I take 5-minute breaks every hour. I try to leave work by 6 p.m. I try to leave work by 6 p.m. I bring lunch from home most days. I bring lunch from home most days. I need to buy some groceries today. I need to buy some groceries today. I always check for discounts first. I always check for discounts first. I prefer using a shopping list. I prefer using a shopping list. I bought some fresh vegetables and fruit. I bought some fresh vegetables and fruit. I found a great deal on shoes. I found a great deal on shoes. I paid with my debit card. I paid with my debit card. I returned a shirt that didn't fit. I returned a shirt that didn't fit. I compared prices before buying. I compared prices before buying. I asked a staff member for help. I asked a staff member for help. I looked for the right size. I looked for the right size. I tried on a few outfits. I tried on a few outfits. I found everything I needed. I found everything I needed. I waited in a long queue. I waited in a long queue. I brought my own shopping bags. I brought my own shopping bags. I checked the expiry date on the milk. I checked the expiry date on the milk. I looked around but didn't buy anything. I looked around but didn't buy anything. I used a voucher to get a discount. I used a voucher to get a discount. I added more items than I planned. I added more items than I planned. I couldn't find the brand I like. I couldn't find the brand I like. I carried everything home in one trip. I carried everything home in one trip. I booked a table for two. I booked a table for two. I checked the menu online before going. I checked the menu online before going. I ordered a burger with fries. I ordered a burger with fries. I asked for extra napkins. I asked for extra napkins. I shared a dessert with my friend. I shared a dessert with my friend. I enjoyed the meal a lot. I enjoyed the meal a lot. I asked the waiter for the bill. I asked the waiter for the bill. I paid the bill using my phone. I paid the bill using my phone. I tipped the waiter generously. I tipped the waiter generously. I complained about the cold food. I complained about the cold food. I waited 20 minutes to be served. I waited 20 minutes to be served. I tried something new this time. I tried something new this time. I didn't like the drink I ordered. I didn't like the drink I ordered. I took a picture of the food. I took a picture of the food. I made a reservation in advance. I made a reservation in advance. I asked for a vegetarian option. I asked for a vegetarian option. I got takeout instead of dining in. I got takeout instead of dining in. I chatted with the waiter a bit. I chatted with the waiter a bit. I left a review after the meal. I left a review after the meal. I plan to go there again soon. I plan to go there again soon. I missed the bus this morning. I missed the bus this morning. I usually take the train to work. I usually take the train to work. I checked the timetable before leaving. I checked the timetable before leaving. I bought a return ticket. I bought a return ticket. I asked for directions at the station. I asked for directions at the station. I used a map to find the place. I used a map to find the place. I hailed a taxi near the corner. I hailed a taxi near the corner. I rode my bike through the park. I rode my bike through the park. I filled up the car before the trip. I filled up the car before the trip. I got stuck in traffic for an hour. I got stuck in traffic for an hour. I walked to save money. I walked to save money. I reached the airport just in time. I reached the airport just in time. I checked in using my phone. I checked in using my phone. I boarded the flight with ease. I boarded the flight with ease. I showed my passport at the gate. I showed my passport at the gate. I took a photo from the airplane window. I took a photo from the airplane window. I arrived safely at my destination. I arrived safely at my destination. I booked a hotel near the beach. I booked a hotel near the beach. I explored the city by foot. I explored the city by foot. I packed everything the night before. I packed everything the night before. I did the laundry this morning. I did the laundry this morning. I vacuumed the entire house. I vacuumed the entire house. I washed the dishes after lunch. I washed the dishes after lunch. I cleaned the bathroom quickly. I cleaned the bathroom quickly. I watered the plants outside. I watered the plants outside. I took the rubbish out last night. I took the rubbish out last night. I folded the clothes neatly. I folded the clothes neatly. I mopped the kitchen floor. I mopped the kitchen floor. I organised the wardrobe yesterday. I organised the wardrobe yesterday. I dusted the shelves and windows. I dusted the shelves and windows. I wiped the table after dinner. I wiped the table after dinner. I changed the bed sheets today. I changed the bed sheets today. I put the groceries away. I put the groceries away. I fed the cat before leaving. I fed the cat before leaving. I cleaned the mirror with spray. I cleaned the mirror with spray. I scrubbed the sink really well. I scrubbed the sink really well. I tidied up the living room. I tidied up the living room. I fixed the broken drawer. I fixed the broken drawer. I replaced the light bulb. I replaced the light bulb. I made a list of things to clean. I made a list of things to clean. I answered the call on the first ring. I answered the call on the first ring. I didn't recognise the number. I didn't recognise the number. I left a voicemail message. I left a voicemail message. I asked them to call back later. I asked them to call back later. I had a long chat with my friend. I had a long chat with my friend. I called to confirm the appointment. I called to confirm the appointment. I checked my missed calls list. I checked my missed calls list. I spoke with customer service. I spoke with customer service. I used my headset to talk. I used my headset to talk. I couldn't hear clearly. I couldn't hear clearly. I sent a message instead. I sent a message instead. I told them I'd call back soon. I told them I'd call back soon. I made a video call on my lunch break. I made a video call on my lunch break. I called my parents in the evening. I called my parents in the evening. I declined a spam call. I declined a spam call. I saved a new number in my contacts. I saved a new number in my contacts. I put the phone on silent. I put the phone on silent. I spoke politely the entire time. I spoke politely the entire time. I ended the call after 10 minutes. I ended the call after 10 minutes. I thanked them for calling. I thanked them for calling. I read a few pages of my book. I read a few pages of my book. I watched a documentary on Netflix. I watched a documentary on Netflix. I went for a walk in the park. I went for a walk in the park. I listened to music while relaxing. I listened to music while relaxing. I drew something in my sketchbook. I drew something in my sketchbook. I played a board game with friends. I played a board game with friends. I wrote in my journal last night. I wrote in my journal last night. I baked a cake from scratch. I baked a cake from scratch. I learnt a new song on guitar. I learnt a new song on guitar. I practiced speaking English alone. I practiced speaking English alone. I joined a new hobby group online. I joined a new hobby group online. I tried painting for the first time. I tried painting for the first time. I watched a film with subtitles. I watched a film with subtitles. I organised my photo album. I organised my photo album. I started learning how to cook. I started learning how to cook. I planted some herbs in the garden. I planted some herbs in the garden. I played football with some mates. I played football with some mates. I watched funny videos to unwind. I watched funny videos to unwind. I tried a new yoga routine. I tried a new yoga routine. I browsed the internet for ideas. I browsed the internet for ideas. I'm free this weekend. Want to meet? I'm free this weekend. Want to meet? I made dinner reservations for Friday. I made dinner reservations for Friday. I checked the calendar before agreeing. I checked the calendar before agreeing. I planned a picnic in the park. I planned a picnic in the park. I text my friend to confirm. I text my friend to confirm. I suggested meeting at the cafe. I suggested meeting at the cafe. I booked tickets for the movie. I booked tickets for the movie. I organised a surprise party. I organised a surprise party. I picked a time that suits us all. I picked a time that suits us all. I offered to host the next game night. I offered to host the next game night. I reminded everyone about the event. I reminded everyone about the event. I cancelled my previous plans. I cancelled my previous plans. I looked up things to do nearby. I looked up things to do nearby. I asked if they were available. I asked if they were available. I rescheduled for another day. I rescheduled for another day. I added it to my planner. I added it to my planner. I agreed to meet after work. I agreed to meet after work. I confirmed the location and time. I confirmed the location and time. I sent an invite to the group chat. I sent an invite to the group chat. I'm excited about the weekend plans. I'm excited about the weekend plans. I brushed my teeth before bed. I brushed my teeth before bed. I checked my phone one last time. I checked my phone one last time. I set my alarm for the morning. I set my alarm for the morning. I washed my face before sleeping. I washed my face before sleeping. I changed into my pyjamas. I changed into my pyjamas. I read a little before falling asleep. I read a little before falling asleep. I closed all the windows. I closed all the windows. I turned off the lights and TV. I turned off the lights and TV. I locked the front door. I locked the front door. I checked the time before sleeping. I checked the time before sleeping. I wrote in my diary briefly. I wrote in my diary briefly. I did some light stretching. I did some light stretching. I plugged in my phone to charge. I plugged in my phone to charge. I put my glasses on the nightstand. I put my glasses on the nightstand. I thought about tomorrow's plans. I thought about tomorrow's plans. I tried to relax and clear my mind. I tried to relax and clear my mind. I heard some noise outside. I heard some noise outside. I adjusted my pillow for comfort. I adjusted my pillow for comfort. I took a deep breath to unwind. I took a deep breath to unwind. I slowly drifted off to sleep. I slowly drifted off to sleep.